Hey everybody, I'm the real Jossie.
And I'm Peter Parkour, and we are
the Distorted Theorists. It's an exciting day here as a Distorted Theorist, ladies and gentlemen. It's our first trailer reaction video.
Now, I don't know if I wouldn't call these trailers. These are more like teasers. Yeah. We'll go with those. But anyways, for those of you, I know. For those of you that weren't aware, a couple of days ago, Disney Plus had what you could consider almost an investor's call. Basically, a showcasing of what they were going to be releasing from Marvel and Disney over the next little while. A little bit of Star Wars content, a little drip fed, some Marvel exciting trailers, and some information that was dropped for Disney Plus as well, including, I don't know if you were aware, but there's, I believe, 13 movies that have been updated on Disney Plus that now have IMAX scenes included in them. So the aspect ratio is actually shrunk down, or actually ballooned up to what would be the IMAX aspect ratio, and now we can see those on our home screens.
But today, what we're going to do is we have 3 of those teaser trailers, all from Marvel. Yes. That I can't wait to dive into and have our first reaction with you guys, and yeah, get it up on the channel.
And who do we have? We've got Moon Knight.
We got Moon Knight. We got She-Hulk coming down the pipe. Mm-hmm. And we have Miss Marvel, which is interesting. I can't wait to see that one because it's supposed to be part of Captain Marvel and her lore. So, yeah.
Kamala Khan, Jennifer Walters, and Mark Spector. Can't wait. Let's get into this.
So, Peter, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. The first one we're going to dive into right now, guys, is Moon Knight. Let's get it.
Spoopy.
That's Oscar Isaac, right?
Yeah, Poe Dameron. Disney.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
I can't. Is he?
It's almost like he's in the sane asylum or something.
In your head. Oh my.
Oh, Jesus.
My.
Where's he beating the shit out of him?
It devours you.
Ooh, dude's got hops.
It's like he didn't know.
He's a little out of sorts, it would seem.
They never even showed us the full suit.
Well, I mean, but it's a teaser. They're going to tease.
Yeah, I know, but I would have liked to seen. I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. Like, so do you know anything about Moon Knight?
Like I've got bits and pieces, but I mean, indulge us. Let us know.
And again, like he's a little bit of an enigma for me too. I don't know a whole lot about him. I remember him from an old Spider-Man comic, and that guy. But his name is Mark Spector, and he's ex-CIA, ex-Black Ops, ex-FBI, some kind of agent.
Okay.
And shit happens to him, and he essentially develops. And again, apologies to the comic community if I'm getting this wrong. But he dissociative identity disorder, basically multiple personalities, and through the comics, there's different ones that he sees, and he goes into his psyche like a little brain room, and there's a little girl, and there's other people.
Oh yeah.
The thing that I really like about
I was just going to say, like playing out the multiple personalities. It seems like there was a part in the teaser where he was like surrounded by bodies on the ground. He had this really like confused look on his face, and it was almost seemed like one of those moments you see in movies where it's like, I have no idea what the fuck I just done, right?
Yeah, so, where am I? Where airport is this?
Yeah.
But the other part that I like about Moon Knight is he's absolutely brutal. Like he's like Frank Castle in The Punisher. Hey, Toby.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hold back, because again, it's not just like, oh, I'm a hero and everything like that. He's what we would consider an anti-hero. He just beats the bejesus.
But the glimpses of the suit that they showed, it looks like it's gonna be like
it's
a white,
accurate.
like a foot. Yeah, exactly. And it's all white, and it's
under the
that,
cover of night, and the mask that he generally has is just a white mask and just white eyes. Like he's a white Batman suit with a big cowl, basically.
Cool. All right. Next up is She-Hulk. Let's jump in.
Yoga, lawyer, yoga lawyer.
Oh. Well, they're just going to hit us with
These transformations are
Hulk.
His arm's not broke. His arm's not broke.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Oh, that was super short teaser.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Did you see? He never had his arm was.
Well, you saw it, so obviously
his arm was like fully no cast, not even no damage. So, is this like pre? Is this story like going to take pre-in-game? Like
it could. It could be post. I don't know. There's rumors.
He was Smart Hulk there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could very well take place in the 5 years of Endgame before Endgame occurred.
Well, and the other part that I was kind of interested in, because when they announced She-Hulk, it's a gray area, because when you saw Hulk in Avengers and they made that like it comes out and he's shirtless, you can't do that with She-Hulk.
Or can you? No,
I'm
just kidding.
That's a different channel. But like you can't do that. So I was like, well, how are they going to do that? Is it going to be CGI? Is it going to look good? How are they going to do the transformation? But then I realized, or more so remembered, what they did for the facial and motion capture for Smart Hulk in Endgame. So obviously, if they did that 3 years ago, how good is it going to be this time?
Yeah. And I mean, they showed her with a fully, I mean, it almost looked like an Avenger type suit.
It's a power suit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm surprised they showed like the green skin. Even you'd think it would have been more of like a hulking out moment kind of teaser, and not really go. But they showed her almost in full skin.
So, and again, do you know the story of Jennifer Walters?
Not even a little bit. I'll be honest. I love the Hulk, but get into it. Hit it with me.
Welcome to the
That's why
story.
He's on the channel, folks.
So Jennifer Walters is Bruce Banner's cousin.
Yes, that I did know.
In the old school comics, I don't know how if it's a change, if there was a new origin story or anything like that. But there was a drive-by by the New York mob, and they shot. I don't know if they were looking for her particularly, or Bruce Banner, or anyone else,
or whatever.
But she got hit and she got nailed, and Bruce became aware of it, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can save her. We got the same blood type." Completely forgetting that he was irradiated with gamma radiation. Instead of a blood transfusion, was like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
And so she was saved by his blood, but then she had gamma irradiated blood.
What do you expect?
So then she became the She-Hulk. Now, in the earlier comics, she was in the 70s, so it was like femme fatale, like sexy She-Hulk. Ooh, yes, how simpy can we make her outfit and everything like that. But in more recent years, it's very similar to what her suit was, that power suit.
Oh, okay.
So she's got kind of like
more modern.
The Lululemon onesie that she can kind of go Hulk out into. But she's also a lawyer. She's a very high-powered lawyer, and she's defended.
Hence why they showed that, obviously, in the beginning.
And she's worked with
Daredevil?
Matt Murdock. Yes, she has in the past.
Didn't know that.
Well, of course, in the comics, I mean, everyone works with everyone in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, they were a big purveyor, or a big. They've worked together and they've worked against each other in a courtroom. And at one point, She-Hulk goes bonkers from Scarlet Witch, and she kills Hawkeye.
Whoa. That might be saved for the show.
I don't know.
It might be a crossover.
Now,
but hey,
it's either the Hawkeye or the Vision. One of them. Don't come for me. It's
speaking of empowering women, let's move on to the Miss Marvel.
Kamala, let's talk about
Kamala. Okay.
Oh, that was Captain Marvel hanging.
From Jersey City. You saved the world.
Maybe now they do.
Okay, so
cool. She's Muslim.
That's right.
Totally.
But she's almost like admiring Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the.
Okay, they didn't even show her in suit or anything, only like costume. So that's. I know it's similar, but
they did. It's pretty close to what.
Who's Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel?
So Kamala Khan is she was just a normal kiddo, just much like Peter Parker, and she gets hit with, oh my God, I can't think of it at the top of my head, but she something very similar to what Black Bolt and all of the critters that are on the moon are from.
Okay.
I can't. Someone's going to come for me in this.
It's eluding him.
I know, it's just completely but she basically gets infected with this, and then she gets reborn a little while later. She discovers she has powers.
Okay.
But she idolized Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Big fan. And she eventually becomes Miss Marvel. How that actually happens in the comics, I wasn't sure, because what I read up to, she was again doing the whole Peter Parker thing where she's like, I'm not used to what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Do you know her powers?
I know she can stretch.
I
know that.
And make herself bigger and stomp. So she's like Ant-Man, Mr. Fantastic. And the other cool thing is, like you said, empowering women, because she's following after Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But
Big shoes to fill, obviously.
she's a Muslim superhero.
which is going to be huge for
Just inclusion.
I guess, inclusion. Just the population in general is you're going to give these men and women of her race, just someone else to look up to. Religion. My apologies.
Faith.
To look up to, and it's something that you haven't seen on screen before, at least not to my knowledge, in such a superhero capacity.
Well, I mean, we had what's his name in the Eternals. Now again, he's
true.
He's an Eternal, but
they didn't. I understand what you're saying.
He's a big purveyor of Bollywood and everything.
Yeah. Like they didn't lean on the, like you said, religious aspect of it. But I think this one's going to focus. In this teaser they showed. I assume again, politically correct, not sure, temple or mosque or wherever they were praying.
Mosque, so.
They were praying. So obviously they want this to be a forefront in the movie, and all due respect for them for doing that. So
Disney, they're like, I don't.
They're breaking ground, man. Honestly,
I was going to say, I don't want to say they're breaking barriers, they're breaking ground, and then this guy. And yeah, she's a relatively newer character, especially Kamala Khan, and she was featured heavily in the Avengers game that came out from Square Enix.
I never got a chance to
couple
play
years
it,
ago.
I know you.
Yeah, neither have I. Thanks.
Yeah, because it crashed.
Thanks, Square Enix. But anyways, but beyond that, these are 3 shows now. We've got She-Hulk, huge. I can't wait to get into that. And Moon Knight. That's going to be the closest thing that we have to the Punisher for a while until the Punisher comes in, hopefully.
There's rumor.
And now we've got Miss Marvel and Kamala Khan. She's probably one of the more interesting of the. Well, actually, they're all interesting. Really.
They're all interesting. Well,
they're interesting in their own rights.
The thing is, you have these couple superheroes who are not. I'm not a comic book, reader by no large scale, but they're fairly newer unknowns. Not in the sense of unknown, of course, but like they're not the forefront runners that you always see showing up on, the Iron Mans and the Thors and all that stuff, which we are accustomed to.
Yeah.
But we're getting these sneak peeks and little tidbits of all these newer ones, and I think it's just going to be super refreshing.
Yeah.
So.
And on top of that, there were other things that were discussed during
from the Disney Day.
And you'll forgive me for looking at my phone because there's so much of it went to.
There was a lot actually.
And not just from Marvel, because they did show a bit of concept art from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that's coming.
Yes, I heard about that.
Not a whole lot. They did show concept art of a lightsaber battle between him and Darth Vader. So. Ewan McGregor. Ewan and Hayden.
Oh, both. I did not hear that part.
And it was also revealed recently that Hayden Christensen will also be starring in some way, shape, or form in the Ahsoka series.
So it's play on everything.
Yes. So again, I mentioned before that there was going to be IMAX scenes that were going to be included with Disney films that had it in it.
Yep.
They provided some new. Jungle Cruise is now officially on Disney Plus instead of streaming on it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The new Home Sweet Home Alone.
No. Let's switch gears. I heard they're bringing back X-Men, the cartoon.
They are.
And apparently, I thought it was going to be like a reboot. I caught wind today. It's actually going to be a continuation.
X-Men 97. Can't wait for that. We finally...
Because I actually have the seasons of those out there.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're not behind me. They are in my other stash of movies. Yes, I have more. I also have some over there.
So you finally get
I've watched
Wolverine.
all of them, but apparently they don't know, because apparently the ending of the original series was a bit, because it was switching studios and stuff. So they're not sure if this one's going to take place right after or if they're going to retcon some things. But a lot of questions.
All I remember was the theme song. That's pretty... Exactly. So then they revealed a documentary about Boba Fett. Boba Fett. And then we saw, of course, our trailers.
One other thing we didn't touch on, we would have reacted to it. Secret Invasion is also coming. They did, and we've seen this because we knew it wasn't a lengthy teaser by any means. Samuel Jackson with the 3 claw marks. Confirmed, and he had a huge beard, so that tells me in the timeline it's going to be a while since we last seen him to now.
But we don't even know how long we have or haven't seen him now, because obviously the Skrulls are involved. If you saw at the end
this
of
is what I'm saying.
Far From Home, we don't know when he was.
It's going to be a great year to be a Marvel fan next year, folks.
So we really enjoyed WandaVision. And one of the breakout characters from that was Agatha Harkness. So she's getting House of Harkness. So she's getting her own show.
Forgot about that. That's going to be good. And Echo.
Echo. Now, we don't
Not
know anything about
familiar,
Echo
but-
because Echo is a character that's going to be coming up in the Hawkeye
Hawkeye
series, which is not on Netflix. It's on Disney Plus.
And of course, if you guys have been watching the channel, we will be doing some reactions to that as well, and definitely some breakdowns of that show when it starts airing. So
And What If is getting a second season.
that's going to be cool.
Yep. And one of the bigger stories, which I was glad to see, and not a lot of people were because they thought it was silly, but the Marvel Zombies episode is now going to be getting its own either series or animated movie.
Animated movie.
Animated series. It was, so it is going to be getting a series.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, this is the other thing. So I think you mentioned about the claw marks, but he doesn't have his patch on.
No, I noticed that.
Okay,
Why
so
is that?
I don't know. Okay.
More questions.
And we are also going to be seeing soon Ironheart is going to be coming in some
I'm interested to
capacity.
see that because
Well,
I'm
it's-
wondering what they're going to really do and how much they're going to lean on
I don't know
previous
much.
Iron-themed superhero
I don't know much
stuff.
about Ironheart because in the comics, Iron Man dies. And but where else did he die?
in the movies.
In the movie, so he's gone. So
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
someone's gonna have to take up the mantle. And in Ironheart, it was I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But she was basically a teenager, genius. So I don't know if that's going to be her in the show or if it's going to be the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
about
it's a teaser. This whole weekend was a teaser. But once again, guys, we thank you so much for joining us on the channel for our reaction, our first reaction. Glad we got that away.
Yeah, finally we could get that.
But on an ending note, tomorrow is supposed to be the Spider-Man trailer, which we will be reacting to. So stick around on the channel. You will see that as well. And
Well, as always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And now, I will mention this. Many of you know this, I'm sure, already, but I wanted to just kind of give a little shout out to, if you feel like subscribing, it's free on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've had people mention me, I was like, well, I don't have a YouTube account. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Subscribing on YouTube is just clicking a button and then clicking a notification button. So if you
it
want
helps
to
us
get...
out tremendously.
Yeah, so if you want to get notified whenever we drop a video, if you're not on Facebook and you're only on YouTube, like my parents, then
my
you will
parents.
then you'll get notified by that, and then it helps us out in the long run.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, guys, I'm the Rio Jossie.
I'm Peter Parkour.
And like we always say,
Keep it
keep
real.
it real.